Hi everyone. So I didn't think I'd get a chance to do this. Peacock. I didn't think I'd get a chance to do this week, but today I'm going to be doing a book review, and today I'm doing Murder of Innocence by James Patterson. So this is actually two books. They're both true crime. One is Murder of Innocence, and one is A Murderous Affair. I guess this is when James Patterson decided to start writing into the true crime standard with his own, dramatic, of course, liberties and additions. So, Murder of Innocence follows the infamous Andrew Luster, who was this rich heir to a family fortune, an amateur movie producer, I guess, but really what he was doing was he was drugging women, and I don't want to affect the algorithm. He was drugging women and taking advantage of them while they were sleeping. And so it chronicles his kind of, how he got started up until when he went on the run, and then when he was eventually subsequently captured by Dog the Bounty Hunter in Mexico, and then extradited back to the U.S., where he is now serving a 50-year sentence. So that's more of a more well-known story. What isn't as well known is A Murderous Affair, which follows disgraced FBI agent Mark Putnam, who he was in Kentucky in the hills, and he had this FBI informant. He was a rookie FBI agent, and he had an informant who he ended up having an affair with, and then when she became pregnant with his child, he murdered her. So I wasn't actually very aware of either of these stories. I knew Andrew Luster a little bit. I just knew he was some guy that Dog captured in Mexico. I knew nothing about Mark Putnam. Definitely a dark chapter in the FBI's history. Is the very first time that one of their FBI agents was involved in a homicide, outside of justifiable, of course. And, officially. And it was actually very fascinating. Kind of, I liked how. So what I liked about the stories was that both of the perpetrators, the villains in the stories, were actually these two very good-looking men who really had a bright future ahead of them. You had Andrew, who is very rich and has every privilege a man can hope for, and then you have Mark, who is very promising FBI agent, very hardworking, devoted family man in the beginning, and then it all just goes haywire. And it's because of their own actions. They have nobody to blame but themselves, of course. And it just goes to show you that not every, criminal out there is this some big hulking, scary-looking, beastly type of character. It can be, just regular, a regular, almost, handsome, basically the guy that could be seen as the hero. Between the two, I found, they're both extremely tragic stories. You had all these women that Andrew Luster had victimized, many of whom are still struggling with, dealing with the after effect. That's that's a shattering experience, what he did. To, violation of women's feelings of safety and trust. Mark Putnam was like that too. You're supposed, there's a guy who's supposed to honor the badge, protect and serve, protect his people, and he ends up selfishly murdering this FBI informant, Susan Smith. Actually, what's interesting is when it was mentioned that Susan Smith was the female informant, I actually thought it was about the woman Susan Smith who had drowned her kids. Instead, it's about Susan Smith, the female FBI informant who was tragically murdered. Very dark stories. Very dark. For those of you that are into true crime, definitely on the heavier note. But I rather enjoyed them. And for those of you that are into true crime, maybe the more obscure true crime stories, definitely recommend picking this up. Now, if you're into crime, you like to read the fictional world as well, you can check out my books at jamesmichaelsbooks.com. I have Ice Rising, Icebox, the sequel, an ongoing series. I'm actually writing Ice Rain as we speak, The Ballad of Johnny Carlo, my standalone, and of course Life's Dark Corners, my collection of short stories. For those of you that are just getting back into reading, check that one out first. And if you get really serious about my books, check all the other ones out as well. So glad you guys stayed tuned, and I will see you next time. Bye.